Shaquille O'Neal, thank you so much for joining CNBC. Just to kick it off, tell us why you're here in Abu Dhabi.
I'm the ambassador of DCT. I'm just here to, meet people, shake hands. I'm actually honored to be the ambassador. It's a great opportunity. Never been here before. It's a fabulous place. The people have been very, very hospitable. NBA had 2 games here, which was remarkable. The fans came and, they showed out. And it's a wonderful place. I really love Abu Dhabi.
It's incredible the amount of people that came out for the sport. How do you see the NBA growing in this part of the world?
Well, not growing. It's been growing, and it will continue to grow. But because of telecommunications and now the internet and social media, players have become bigger. The game has become bigger, and it was just a great thing to see. And I know for a fact, as a fan, it's a different experience from watching at home and being there. Because when I was a kid, I went through that. I used to watch Dr. J all the time. And then my father said, if you get good grades, I'll take you to Madison Square Garden and see Dr. J. And riding in the train and going through the arena and getting the popcorn, and you sit down and Dr. J goes baseline and the crowd goes crazy. And it's just a wonderful thing. So as I was walking through the arena and the kids, Shaq and Vince and Dominique, and we're signing autographs, I know it really meant a lot to them. So shout out to the DCT and to the NBA.
What's incredible is what you've done post your career with the NBA. Walk me through that in terms of as an investor. What's your strategy there? Because there's life after basketball. What does that look like in your mind when it comes to investment?
I don't like to talk like I'm this investment expert, but it's basically based off one principle: belief. Do you believe in the product? Is it going to change people's lives? I was at a tech conference in Vegas, and I heard the great Jeff Bezos say, if you invest in things that's going to change people's lives, you will definitely get a nice return. I never think about the monetary aspect. I never say, I'm going to put $1 million in 10 years. It's not important to me, but I believe in something. I could be a part of something. I could own something. That's what it's about for me. So again, I don't like to say, do this, do that. It's just, I have a system, and I believe in my system, and my system has definitely worked for me.
So it's about having a feeling.
Yes.
What happened there? Did you decide not to get into that investment because Jeff would be a rival?
Listen, no, you can't compete with Jeff Bezos. I was very interested. My group was very interested, but if he's gonna put his name in, there's only a few people that could hang with him.
When you think about the sport, the NBA, they've gone into places like the Middle East, like Abu Dhabi. This is a place that's very forward-thinking, as you've seen in your time here. What about China? When you think about the controversies about the NBA being in China, does that bother you?
It's not that it bothers me. I'm not the guy that gets the final word. I know in China they really love basketball, and I also know for a fact that despite what's going on in the world, there's 2 things that will always calm people down. That's sports and music. But again, I'm not the final say, so we should do this, we should do that. It's a universal game, and there will always be business and politics. I try not to get involved in business and politics. Just try to understand and just try to take care of what I can take care of. I'm here now. There's children wanting to see me. I'm being very hospitable. I'm being very nice. I'm doing what I can where I live at. But if I had the final say-so, we would do this in every country, every city, every planet. Everybody would be at peace, but I don't have the final say-so. I wish I could give you a better answer on that, but I really can't.
Are you concerned about what you're seeing happening in the world today?
Yeah, I really am. I would think in 2022 would be at more peace, but it's a lot of things going on. But again, I just try to control what I can control, and I just try to lead by example.
When you think about that, with regards to what's interesting to you as an investor, you were an early investor in Google. You say belief is your core principle in going into something. Do you believe in the product? You support a lot of different brands. What looks interesting to you?
Well, I get a lot of things on my desk every day. I really do. And
everybody wants a piece of you.
Yes, a lot of things, and most of it we turn down. But if it's very interested, we'll have 1 meeting, 2 meetings, 3 meetings. And also have a panel. Eisenhower said the greatest of leaders are the ones that hire people smarter than me. So I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I never want to be the smartest guy in the room. So, God, what do you think of this? Have a conversation. And I like it. Okay. Hey, what do you think of this? I don't know. So it has to go through the panel first. If it goes to the panel and it's 4 out of 5 people that like it, we'll do it. Because, again, I don't really worry about the monetary aspect of it. Man, in 10 years, it's going to be, you just invest and, it's
You're a long-term thinker that way.
No, but it's a better conversation for me is I invest in this company. Stop talking.
Yeah.
That conversation is better than, man, I invested 5 years ago and then one day I was sitting at Starbucks and I got the call and now it's worth $30 billion. That's $30 billion, $2 billion. When you've been doing this since 19 years old, it's all the same.
Yeah.
But I like business conversation rather than monetary conversation.
Yeah. At what point do you see in that sense enough is enough? Because I think in the society in which we live today, we're talking about social media and everybody has FOMO. When do you get to a sense? It's
just about being blessed. To be honest with you, my definition of being rich is being able to buy my mother whatever she wants. That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I can remember 17 years old, going to college, we riding through San Antonio, Texas, and we stop at a light and she's just looking at this house. Not a mansion, but it's a house. We never had a house. We went from apartments to army housing, houses, but she never had her own house. And that hurt me. And she's sitting there and just had like a for sale sign and we grabbed one of the things. It's only $250. We'll never be able to afford that. And she's just looking at it and she's just dreaming.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, when I get this, I'm gonna take care of her. It's a good feeling right now. Mom, do you need anything? Yeah, baby, my car is kind of acting up. Come take a ride with me. Show you how your son do business. We walk in, we just pick one. That's rich.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I care about. Same thing for my children. That's all I care about. There's really nothing else. It's not, I'm going to take this 700 and turn it to 3 billion and 6 billion. I'm not that guy. As long as my mother's taken care of, my children's taken care of, I'm fine. Like people, I have a couple houses. People ask me, man, I can go back to living in a 3-bedroom house. As long as I got my little place to lay my head and a couple cars, my Dodge Chargers and my and my F-150s, I'm good.
Yeah. Just to use that in context, when you look at what's happening in the United States today, politically on both sides of the aisle.
I don't get involved.
For you, though, as you were saying, the most important thing was being able to take care of your family, take care of your kids.
And as a guy that's heavily looked at in society, I just try to lead by example. Because I don't work for the adults. I work for the babies. Care less what an adult thinks about me.
Yeah.
I have children of my own. I got to set good examples. When they see me do charitable work, all I need is 1 or 2 of them when they get to a certain age and certain status do the same thing. I lead by example. I'm doing this. It's not my job. And I don't get involved. I respect people's opinions, whether it's right or not. Because even though I'm a very successful person, the question I ask, who am I? Who am I to say what you believe is not right? I don't have that power. Nor do I act like I have that power. Nor do I want to have that power. Nor do I say, oh, I got 30 million followers, I'm right. Nah, that's not how I do. So
the pitfalls of celebrity.
Exactly. So again, I just lead by example. And again, I do not work for the adults. I work for children only. I'm always try to do and say the right thing for children. And if I happen to do or say anything wrong, I want the children to be like, Shaq, that was wrong, and I want them to be leaders and not followers. So that's how I live my life.
It's so nice to have you on CNBC. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.